I don't even know how to start this video. Folks, we've a monitor on the bench. It's a Commodore 1085S. This is the worst introduction to any video I've ever done. It's one of the 6 monitors that I got in a lot back in France in June 2024. And this one is... Well, you can see what's wrong already. There's a few cracks. There's a few cracks outside, and there's a few cracks inside as well. I've already opened this just to check what the damage was. Now, I was told the monitor was in this condition, and like I said, it came in a lot of 6 monitors. Okay, let's open this guy. Let's open this guy and have a look. This video is sponsored by PCBWay. No, come on, let me do it. Come on. Anyway,
this is just ridiculous. I hate you.
PCBWay offers PCB manufacturing services, of course, along with part assembly, but they also offer a number of other fantastic services like CNC, metal sheet fabrication, 3D printing, and even injection molding. Essentially a one-stop service for all your projects. So go to PCBWay.com, upload your project files, and get an instant quote. And thank you to them for sponsoring this video. I was going to say there's no guarantee that we'll be able to fix this, but obviously if I've deemed it was worth making a video, this might actually be my most epic monitor repair ever. And you've seen that 1084S that Glenn CRG, who runs a great channel on YouTube as well, has gifted me a while back. Okay, parts. The cover is here though, that's handy, because these usually are gone on these monitors. Now, oh my God. Okay. I'd already opened and saved as many parts and bits as I could. There's even the fuse here. Alright, it doesn't take too long to guess what's wrong with this monitor. The tube is fine. The tube is not cracked as far as I could tell. It seems okay. But obviously the chassis is... and it's cracked here. I didn't know that. It's cracked in 2 places, all around the flyback, 3 places. I shouldn't laugh. This is terrible. Let's disconnect everything. Now, obviously, this hasn't been powered in years, and it hasn't seen any activity, so it's safe to just remove the anode cup like that. I'll do that in a minute when I have my 2 hands ready. This is the whatever DAG cable, and we need to disconnect. Oh, there's gunk in this. There you go. Come off. And this is just to keep stuff in place. Yeah, the tube itself is fine. And, you know, when the tube is fine, it's most likely fixable. Okay, let me dismantle everything, get my 2 hands back, and we'll look at the PCB. All right, we've got the PCB extracted out. Yeah. There's our problem, or one of them. And here, so all around the flyback, and obviously this section. Wow. Okay. Now I'm sure somebody will. Oh, and there's another crack. 1, 2, 3, 4 cracks. 4 major cracks. 5. 5. Okay, we're gonna have to do a lot of repair work on this. I'm sure this is the worst I've seen. This is the worst I've seen. 6. Oh my God. Oh, this isn't even funny. Oh my god, there's another one here that well, I knew about the big one, but this one is, yeah. 6 major chassis failures and cracks, and is it worth repairing? I was gonna say, I'm sure somebody in the comments will tell me, oh, I've seen worse and repaired worse, and good on you, but I haven't. And this is the worst chassis I've ever seen, by far. One, we won't count this. Okay, I'll give you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 major cracks. And I count this one, it doesn't look big, but there's a leg of something here of the flyback, meaning we don't have that ground plane connected. Part of me is wondering, is it even worth it at this stage? Because this is pretty far gone, but this is what we do on this channel, isn't it? I think first I'm going to need to disconnect this green wire, and I'm going to remove the flyback. It'll make it much easier to put this back in place. And my first goal is going to fix this here, and then I think this, make it all one part, because all these all these traces are obviously cut. And then this. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It would be so much easier with the soldering station, but mine died a few years ago, and I didn't quite have enough stuff to fix that would need it. I sort of stopped fixing arcade boards a while back, so I was like, I don't think I need a desolder station, so I reverted to using desolder braid, and it works fine for stuff like that. It's absolutely perfect, ideal for stuff like that, for bigger solder points. It's a bit tricky for ICs. It's not impossible. I've done all my Amiga stuff and all of that, removing ICs and sockets with it. It's a bit tedious, but I did enjoy it because it actually brought me back closer to sort of the roots of all this stuff. There it is. Okay, that's that out of the way, and it's going to make it so much easier to sort of realign these PCBs, although I don't know if that flyback is any good, but we'll have to assume that it is for now. We still don't know if there's any failures in this chassis or this part of a chassis. Dear God. So much flex in it. Okay, I'm gonna have to do a little bit of wiggling, try to kind of pry this so the edge here kind of pops back in, and then we're gonna use some super glue on the top of the crack just to secure it in place while I'm working in it. It's contact cement, not super glue. Same thing though. And then we can work on repairing the traces. Now I've desoldered the legs of a lot of the components that were sitting across this crack, and that crack goes all the way to the top here and halfway through the board. That's a big one. But what I'll do is I'm going to pull those components from this side, and I forget which leg. Usually I've removed the closest leg to, no, this one I think I thought I hit. Yeah, I did. Come on. That's a jumper. Big diode. And the reason is you want to do that when you've cracks like that. It's a bit more work, but it'll give you that much more flex in the board, so you can actually work it. I think this one, yeah, there you go. Because otherwise there's no give in that board, because the components are actually keeping the PCB together. I think that's it. Yes, there you go. I know it's very visible up close, but we've at least there's no bulge or overlapping bits of PCB like there was when we first looked at it. So what I'm going to do next is I am going to use some super glue in points like here. Sorry, contact cement. Super glue is contact cement, and just put that use it here and over there and on this bit as well to keep them in place while we're working. So with those in place, I'm going to put those components back in. They'll provide some structural strength, and then we'll work on fixing traces. This is going to be a long one. Well, I was tempted to film some of it, but this is quite time-consuming and tedious. And this one doesn't look the best, but it's working. It's patched. Actually, I need to redo this this big one here. I'm not sure that's. Oh yeah, I actually forgot to do it. It's a big ground trace that runs around the chassis. But this is this section here and this crack here fixed all the way up here. There's this 3 more, and then some patching here for where the HOT is as well. And I don't see any cracks actually on the traces of the flyback. There's this entire section that runs from here to about here, and that was so far the most time consuming, but I think I think I cracked it. I think we got it. This looks like a break, but it's not. Trace, blobs of stuff. Can I zoom in a bit more? Yeah, there you go. I checked for continuity and it's all fine. Trace-wise, interesting. This big crack here runs between 2 traces up to this trace, and then it ran along this one trace. So I just added a long length of wire and then smaller ones here. So I think we have it. So I think I need to just address this little one, but I think this main section now is fixed. I will triple check continuity and just make sure we don't have any bridges anywhere as well, because continuity, we'll get things not working. Bridges on a monitor, never a good idea. So you want to make sure you triple check your work at least. Okay, we have the second half here, and I've already removed the metal panel. It'll give us a bit more movement in the board and flex, so we can just glue back, because this actually keeps the board in a certain way. But right now I just want to be able to flex it and just super glue it back in place. Right, I think we're done. Whenever you just have a crack over solder, just make sure you add a little kind of staple piece of metal like that. It just here and here, it helps, keeps everything sturdy. Should your solder weaken, which it will at some point, it prevent it from re-cracking again. Yeah, it's really hard to film this to find the right angle, especially because my hands need to go in front of it, so it's awkward to film. But I think we've 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 traces. But we're getting to the end of this section slowly. All right, we got both sides sort of independently fixed and addressed, and now we need to join them together. We're going to run into some, not trouble, but annoyance here, because this is just broken right on these parts. I'm going to remove this guy and this guy just to make it easier to sort of wiggle them back in place. And then we're going to do the same thing, super glue, and then some epoxy just across for a bit more rigidity. All right, I got the two parts glued back together as best as I could. I think this might work, at least as a fixing measure. So I've super glued both sides, left it to kind of cure and dry for about 24 hours, and done the same again with epoxy on top, just to get a bit more rigidity in the board. And now, yeah, you can see these were very damaged areas, but otherwise I think we'd be okay. So this whole area is just a giant ground plane. This was the small chunk that was broken, but I'd say we don't really need to do much with this. We'll just join it maybe in one place. But ground is connected together in a lot of places on this PCB, so it's safe to assume that if I did a continuity test between even this part and this part, we'll check okay, but we're still going to repair this. Yeah, these traces, there's still a bit of a weird flex going on here, but I think that's as good as we'll get this PCB to align. And I just counted, it'll be around 100 traces repaired once I'm done with this. And I'm just about halfway. Alright, that's it done. That's quite a lot of traces replaced. I counted actually over 100 now at this stage. So the next step is going to put back the flyback and the neck board, reconnect everything, and we'll pray that the thing doesn't explode when I switch it on. Alright, the chassis is back connected to the tube. We just need to power it on. I'm always slightly nervous with trace repairs, especially, not monitors in general, but trace repairs, because you just never know. And it's not going to blow up in my face, but something might pop and give me a fright. We never know. So let's power this on. Oh, that was on. Let's power it. Oh, good sign. Heard the noise. Bit of static on the screen. So we are... Can I play with the brightness and contrast to bring this up? No, I don't think anything's happening. I can see... I'm not sure if it's visible on the camera, but there is a neck glow. There, you should be able to see it. And... there's definitely static if I switch this off. yeah, you can hear all the static and discharging, building up, but there's nothing on the screen. So one thing we can do is use one of those little neon lamp. NE2H is whatever this thing is, and bring it close to the flyback, and you'll see it lights up. So our flyback is at least working. Whenever, if it doesn't make a sound, it's a good way to find out if the flyback is working, but we get no high voltage display on screen, at least. Do I need to tinker with the brightness and contrast? You know what? Look at this guy here. It looks like it's disconnected. I haven't connected it back. I had to disconnect it. Oh yeah, I remember I had to disconnect a few components actually to make sure I could access the board or glue it back together. Let me disconnect everything, discharge the tube, and reconnect this one resistor. See what happens. By the way, before I do that, this monitor here right now as it is, with no picture, not making a sound, is actually when accidents happen with monitors. People forget it's on because it's not making a sound, no picture. They start touching stuff, disconnecting things, and zap. What is actually dangerous is not the 20,000 volts or whatever it is running through this. It's actually the mains. People start tinkering with the mains, and mains is deadly. So people are usually afraid of the anode cup. You shouldn't be. Treat it with respect, but it's fine. I got zapped a few times. It's mostly fine. It's just unpleasant. But the mains, I can't repeat this enough. It's always the mains that does the damage. So make sure you power off, and it doesn't matter if stuff is disconnected, just switch everything off. Multiple places. All right, so I got that resistor connected back. It actually broke, the remaining leg broke, so I managed to solder it on the other side of the board, at least for now, because we just want to see if this works or what. So, oh no, right, let's go. I'm hearing some. My God, oh my God, this is nuts. So this resistor actually goes. I need to lower the flyback here. Oh, this will do for now. Anyway, wow. Okay, steps. I need to connect an actual Amiga to this to see if we get colors, if everything is working right. But we get high voltage, we get a raster, we get screen. All right, so I got my Amiga 600 here just connected, booting to kickstart. But we're not getting much. There is something happening if I switch off the Amiga, switch it back on, we get a screen. Yeah, we get stuff kind of happening on screen. It's kind of hard to see, but not much else. And actually the brightness and contrast pots on top of the board, these guys over here. Progress though, it didn't blow up, and we get, at least we've high voltage raster, vertical deflection. It's just we're not getting any signal, RGB signal, making it through our board here yet. Well, I think that's one mystery solved. This is our RGB connector, and we got 1, 2, trying to focus here, 2. This one is broken, and so R, G, and B are broken anyway. I don't know about sync, but yeah, there you go. They go straight to these inductors, and there's no continuity between at least those two. This is 2, yeah, 2, 3. Yeah, this is our RGB here, and it's not actually going from the connector to our circuit. That's one place to start. Okay, that's the traces repaired on the RGB connector. Oh my God, does this? I can't quite believe it. This is over 100. I think it's 102, 3, 4, 5 traces. 105 traces repaired. This thing was broken in 6 parts. Let's say 5 parts. There was one little corner we can't count, but. And it's there's no component failure. Everything is working fine. Actually, everything is working beautifully, and that's all it was. I'm saying all it was. This was quite a lot of work. All right, so you'll excuse the refresh rate. This is my phone, and I still haven't figured out how to synchronize stuff like that. But the monitor is up and running, and I'm using my demo that I made for This Week in Retro just to test that everything is fine. And it is. I'm still in shock that it worked. 105 traces repaired on this monitor, and it's working absolutely fine. I mean, when I started this, I wasn't sure it would work, you know. There was so much potential for it to go wrong or not work at all. But there you go. Sometimes you just need to start and get on with it. But there you go, folks. I hope this was interesting. Another monitor rescued. That's what I think we're down to 1 left from that batch of Commodore monitors that I had and were in need to repairs. The 10 or the 1960 is still left to fix. So, folks, I hope this was interesting. Thank you for watching. Don't forget you can find me on social media, Banjo Guy Ollie, and there's a Discord server if you want to chat, and there's a Patreon if you want to support the channel. Folks, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.